much for joining us. We're the Columbus Koto Ensemble, and this is our Winter's Night live stream concert. It's our final one for 2021. We've done 3 this year. They were all made possible by a generous grant by the Greater Columbus Arts Council. We want to thank them.
Thank you.
Huge thank you for supporting arts in Columbus. Shout out to Nick Magato for the awesome sound quality of our videos.
Nick,
he did an amazing job. And obviously the Boxland Media Studios for all their great video work and everything else that they've done for us.
We love you. We love the Koto Ensemble.
Obviously that's where we're filming this tonight. So I'm Jessica Entis, and this is...
I'm Lori Fannin.
And I'm Lisa Reeves.
And obviously you just heard Joy to the World as we start our little holiday show for you. And so...
Should we talk about our little set here that we got going?
Yeah.
Actually, we're sitting at a kotatsu. Some people may, if you know anime, you might know this already, but it's a little low table with a heating element underneath, and people often snuggle underneath these in the wintertime and either eat or study or just hang out or sometimes sleep here. And we got some snacks and some mandarin oranges and some tea that we're enjoying while we're presenting.
Yeah. We're festive over here today.
Yeah. And I've got my iPad sitting right here so I can see comments and questions, and when people leave them, we'll answer them in between the songs and everything.
Yeah, so please feel free to chime in with whatever you'd like to ask us or just comment on. Also, we are taking donations via our Eventbrite page, so you can also help us out a little bit. And just go to Eventbrite. It may say like you're buying a ticket, but you're not really buying a ticket.
Yeah, you choose the price. You donate however much you want. The link for it is right in the post of this video. Also on the event on Facebook in the discussion, the link is there too. To go there and donate. So
minimum $10,000.
Yes. And thank you though for a few of you who have already donated. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Greatly
We appreciate it.
We have a lot of big ideas for 2022. So these live streams this year were made possible through a grant. But we want to do more ambitious things. We want to do a music video, so maybe on location. We want to do an in-studio performance. We invite people here to watch us as well as live stream the performance out on social media and everything like that. But we need funds to be able to pay for all that kind of stuff. Like video, good audio doesn't come free.
We're starving artists.
Yeah. So that's why we're asking for donations. We all have day jobs, like that sort of thing, but we would love to do this more often and do cooler and more interesting things for you guys to see. And so we need your help to do that.
Yep.
Please also like and follow us on YouTube, our YouTube channel. We're still trying to get to 100 subscribers. We were hoping to do that for 2021. We're halfway there. We're just over halfway there. So the more people we can get, the better. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
We appreciate your support. So our next piece
is
Rasen. Yeah. So it'll be a duet between me and Lori. The piece means Spiral. And it's just a really cool modern piece. It's really fun to play. It's very challenging.
You came upon it first.
One of my previous Kodo teachers introduced me to the song, and she gave me the recording, like, listen to this, see what you think. And I thought it was just one of the coolest things I had ever listened to. I was just like, I want to learn how to play this piece. And at the time, my skill level wasn't quite enough, but I finally got there.
Yes.
Finally got there to be able to perform it for you guys, and we're just so excited to share it with you.
Yeah, so I hope you enjoy it.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Oh, well, did you say it was written by?
Oh, I did not.
You should. Tell us.
I need my cheat sheet. We have a cheat sheet.
We're only human.
Yoshizaki Katsuhiko. There we go. Okay. Compose this. So.
Hello.
Hi.
Hope
Welcome
you
back.
enjoyed us, eh?
We were in a very deep conversation. Yeah, we hope you enjoyed us in a lot.
We're enjoying our kotatsu. It's like so toasty.
I know.
Yes, we were talking about our kimonos that we wore for this. So mine was borrowed from Lisa because she's got lots to borrow from.
It's so pretty.
And it was really, it's challenging to play in kimono. And you're got the obi and you've got the obi board, so you're very stiff. And you always think I always think oh my God, the sleeves, they're just going to interfere. And it's amazing that they really don't ever interfere. But it's
unless you're
you're changing
unless,
pages.
yes, which is
I
what got us
actually-
into the conversation.
Actually, my sleeve did interfere in the recording in some spots, but not that we cut them out. We cut those spots out, but we recorded. But the sleeves were driving me nuts. But yeah, it's really fun playing kimono. Otherwise, gives you very nice posture.
It really
Yes,
does.
it does. It does.
So
Yeah.
talk about your kimono.
So I'm wearing a purple kimono. It's pretty special to me. So I did the JET program years and years ago. In 2003 is when I went to Japan. I lived there for a year. And about 3 weeks after I'd gotten there, I finally started making some Japanese friends. And one of them, who owned a restaurant, invited me, and she gave me that kimono as a gift. It was just, she's like, I have this sitting in a drawer. I never do anything with it. You should make it into a dress. And I was like, it was the first time I'd ever held a real kimono. I was a big anime fan, and I'd seen kimono, in cartoon form, but I'd never seen one in real life. It was just like the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. I was like, I would never make this into a dress. Are you kidding? It's too pretty. So it's very special to me. It's the first one I was ever given, and I don't get to wear that often because it's such a dark color. It's considered more of a colder weather kimono. So I was like, oh, well, we're doing a winter show. That's perfect. I can finally wear it. So I'm very proud to be able to wear that. And Itsuki-san,
looked
I know you're out
beautiful
there
in it.
somewhere. I hope you're watching the show from Saga.
Yeah.
And I miss you, and I hope I can come back to visit you someday. And thank you for the kimono. It's the best.
And what about yours? Do you have a
Oh,
story
mine
behind
is
yours?
my red kimono is a relatively new acquisition. I just wanted a red colored kimono, so I had gotten that not too long ago. But the obi I'm wearing actually was gifted to my mother from a famous actually author. Name is escaping me right at this moment, but so she gifted that obi along with a very ornate furisode kimono. Furisode is not, it's the long sleeved one. It's not really considered appropriate after you're married. So I have several, but I don't wear them that often. So, but I was able to use the obi, which is beautiful.
Nice. It's a nice story.
Yeah, it came out really nice. Beautiful outfit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So our next piece is called Koto, not Koto the instrument like what we have over here, but it actually means old or ancient city. And this is a duet between me and Jess here.
Yeah. And the story behind this one is I went back to Japan after I left the JET program to visit in 2008. And my Kodo teacher, who I learned from there, gave me this piece to take back home with me. So that was special as well. And I really love this piece. It's really
You have
fun
a
to
lot
play.
of really special things for the show.
I do. That's
really awesome.
It just kind of worked out that way.
beautiful.
So
I really love this piece. It's
Oh, it's
beautiful,
beautiful.
very serene atmosphere to it.
So Kondo Sensei, thank you.
And I hope you enjoy this next piece.
So we really hope you enjoyed that. So now that you've listened to the piece, like it's really cool how it paints a picture of an old like Japanese castle town. There's one of my favorite sections is near in the middle where it's like nighttime. You can kind of hear it piece quiets down. It's very peaceful, like it's nighttime in the old town. It's one of the things I love about Kodo pieces is how the imagery, like it's very painterly in musical terms.
Yes, I agree.
It's really beautiful.
There's a lot of colors you can bring out with the Koto.
So we're hoping that we get some comments or some, not so much comments, but questions is what I meant to say.
About anything,
So
about
please
Koto, about the
free.
pieces, about us, our new
Whatever-
plans,
whatever you
whatever
want,
you'd like to know.
like to know, we'd be glad to answer any questions you have.
Q&A is one of the favorite things that we do. That's
Yeah,
It is.
wherever
It
we
is.
perform,
Yeah.
we
We love it.
expect and enjoy that part.
Yes. But until then, we'll talk about our next piece.
Yeah.
So the next piece is a solo that I performed, and it was written by Michio Miyagi, and I'm going to try to say this in Japanese.
Good luck.
Give me a moment. Wait, let me get my cheat sheet. Okay. Ehe no kotai.
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 There you go.
Also on that. But anyway, it's translated into the changing of the guard. And I really fell in love with this piece because, again, imagery. And if you think about the title. So Miyagi was such a prolific composer and performer. And he was very influenced by Western, whether it's like Western music or the Western scale. But I believe there was a fascination there because you think that he wrote this piece. There's another piece he wrote called, I'm going to say the English translation, is London in the Rain. So you can hear this interesting take that he has on Western music. And also the fact that he did invent the jushigen. Did I say that right?
Jushigen.
I'm so sorry. God, when I was in Japan, it was so embarrassing.
The 17-string Kodo.
The 17-string Koto. And so when he invented that, and he did that in strictly a Western scale, specifically for a Western scale, to be like, C, D, E, F, G, A, so forth and so on. So in the changing of the guard, he's using still in the sense of Japanese scale, but as the Japanese scales are more pentatonic, but it sounds very Western. It actually sounds like it's in A major. And so throughout the piece, he infuses this very Western, regal, royal theme that comes through, which is really cool. And so you'll hear that, and it is very much like a changing of the guard. If you've ever been able to watch them do this, they're so traditional, and it's so regal, and it's so strict and formal, and that's what this little theme is. And then he also starts to weave in very Japanese sounding nuances in the strings and just the way the tuning is. So I really fell in love with this because of that melding of the two, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Two worlds.
Two
Themes.
worlds. Two worlds.
We actually do have a couple questions if you want to answer those before we get into the next song. Larry Mullins asks, how old is the Kodo in its current form?
Oh, that's hard to say because certainly even compared to what we have now, it's been like this for quite, centuries. Not centuries, yeah.
Almost
hundreds of years.
Almost 1,000 years, I think.
Because
actually.
it came, the original instrument probably originated in China and was introduced to Japan quite a long time ago and was really used in court music as more of a percussion instrument rather than a solo or something specifically or with songs. So it gradually changed. But for many hundreds of years, it really has looked like this. The original strings were silk, and the G or the bridges, the white things that you see on them, they were made from ivory, so materials that they had on hand, and the wood is indigenous to Japan. So they had all the materials there, and it's been looking like this for quite a long time. It's a very traditional Japanese instrument.
Good question.
And then it's kind of related is where the origins of the koto. So yeah, it came from originally a Chinese instrument. So it's part of a family of instruments that have a lot of similarities. So the
Zither
Chinese,
family.
yeah. So
Yeah.
the guzheng of China.
Yeah.
And then I know there's a Korean version that's small. It can kind of sit on your lap.
There's a
Gayagum.
Vietnamese,
I can't-
Gayagum.
Yeah.
Gayagum.
Can't pronounce it correctly. I apologize.
And the Vietnamese is,
Can't remember what that
can't
one's
remember
called.
what that's.
But they have a lot of similarities in kind of form, the way that there's the bridges that go under strings to get the tension under there, and
They
Played with-
also
played with
very
Sume, played with
distinct.
kids.
They're,
Yeah,
they're
very distinct.
Yeah,
sounds, and
sound.
of course have really reflect the cultures that they are, of the countries that they're from.
yeah. Those are the two questions. So
cool.
say they're
Thank
enjoying
you
it.
for
So,
asking some questions.
yeah.
So I guess we will then have you listen to, I'm just going to say it in English, Changing of the Guard.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
And we're on.
Oh.
Hey!
Welcome back.
Hello, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the changing of the guard, and I hope you heard what I was talking about in those two different worlds of music being melded together. And I was also commenting, one of my favorite techniques to do is we hit the string with the tsume, with the pick, and just love like that weird
There's a
percussive-
little bit of tone because they
just a
usually
little bit.
specify which string to hit,
Yeah.
so there is a little bit, you will hear a pitch, but very slightly. It's mostly percussive.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have we have some pieces where the koto gets used as a percussive instrument, where you knock on the koto or you do your picks on like the spine of it to make different sounds. It's really
Really
fun
interesting.
to experiment with that and play around with that
absolutely.
kind of sound.
So we know we had a
We did have a question. How long did you study koto before performing for an audience, and did it come easy to any of you? So I think we're just going to go around the table and answer it, because that's a really great question.
It is a great question. Okay, so I will start this. 6 months. That's how long I learned and performed. I had 6 months to learn the pieces and then perform them. And in some ways it came very easy to me because of my musical background.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
So I have a varied musical background. I'm a classical pianist, and I play other instruments as well. And so I was able to easily pick up the theory of Kodo and understand how the fundamentals of reading it, not really the kanji just yet, but like how it formatted on the page, and I understood all that. I just had to memorize the kanji of it. But because of my background, learning it came quickly, and performing it was not difficult for me. It was nervous, very, very nervous, but it wasn't difficult. I really did take to it pretty quickly.
And for me, how long was I learning? Just a couple months. So when I lived in Japan, I was there for a year teaching English, and I tried a variety of different kind of Japanese cultural things, like different martial arts and stuff. And I was getting towards the end of my stay there. I only had a few months left, and I went to the Doll Festival. And saw these ladies playing this instrument. I'm like, that looks pretty neat. And they were like, oh, you want to come try? And they had me play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, just plucking the strings with my finger. I'm like, well, this is fun. Do you guys offer lessons? And they did. So I started taking lessons, and it was just a few months before they had me come perform at a little tea shop type of thing. And I only played one song. It was Sakura Sakura, which is like the most fundamental, basic Japanese melody. It's not hard to play on the koto really at all, but for me it was just like, oh man. I sort of have a musical background. I did marching band in high school and college. I played flute and piccolo, but that was kind of it as far as music. I hadn't played for a long time, so it's a totally different kind of music. It's read differently, but in my interest of Japanese culture before moving to Japan, I taught myself hiragana and katakana with manga, with the Japanese comics. And so I was used to sort of reading, the top to bottom, right to left? Right? Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right. I'm left-handed. My left is my left is my right. So I get mixed up. Anyway, so I got used to kind of reading that direction, and so koto music is read the same way, and so that wasn't totally unfamiliar. And I've been learning the numbers and things like that. And so it's written Japanese numbers, the kanji for the numbers in the music. So I already knew those symbols. So it wasn't that hard to kind of pick up how to read it. I understood the fundamentals pretty easily. Performing in front of people was very nerve-wracking, especially it's when I just started learning. But fortunately, my piece was simple enough that it was pretty hard to mess up. And then I started learning it again when I came back to the States. I hadn't played for about a year, and I ended up joining a group in Columbus, the Sakura group, and getting an actual teacher to kind of continue my studies there and go beyond the basic level to something more advanced. So
very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Here you are. Here I am.
Cool. Well, my story's a little bit different. My mother was a koto teacher, and she learned from her grandmother, so it's been in our family for quite a long time. And I've been playing or touching the koto ever since I could walk, probably. I don't remember when I first started taking lessons from her. I probably was doing it practically the entire time, and she taught me how to play koto as well as some shamisen, and eventually a little bit on the jushigen, which she purchased when I was more like in the teenage range. And you will hear me play a jushigen or a 17-string
And
solo a little bit later.
That is the actual instrument that you're playing on that you're talking
Yes.
about,
It's your
right?
mom's, yeah.
Yep.
Kodo.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I have been playing for quite a long time. And along that note, if you would like to perhaps try learning the koto, feel free to check me out. I have my own Facebook page, Columbus Koto Academy. And, I give private lessons, and I can also rent you a koto if you don't happen to have one laying around your place somewhere. By the way, we were going to mention, I have a cake here on the table because in Japan they often have Christmas cake. They often also have fried chicken a lot on Christmas for some reason.
Do.
It's
Oh, yeah?
kind of
Yeah.
a more newer tradition. Christmas
Yeah.
is a little bit less of a religious holiday in Japan. It's more of a kind of romantic couples holiday. So cake, chicken,
Fried
probably
chicken?
beer is what they usually have. So
Sounds romantic to me.
Right?
And the oranges, they grow natively in Japan, don't
Oh,
they?
yeah.
Mikan, and here they're called clementines in the U.S. My first exposure to these oranges was when I moved to Japan. I'd never seen them before, so I learned them as mikan, and then came back here. It was just like, what are they called here? They have to have them here. Clementines? They're called clementines? I like mikan better. And but they're ripe in the winter. So everyone keeps bowls of them on their table all winter long. I thought that was just so much fun.
yeah,
They're so good.
absolutely.
We do have some new questions.
Cool.
Let's see. Bobby Griffin says, Miyagi,
Hi, Bobby.
Miyagi loves to go between those rhythmic versus melodic sections a lot. Which do you
Yes.
find more difficult, a fast rhythmic section or a slow lyrical musical section?
Fast rhythmical section is way more difficult for me than the slow lyrical sections. Yeah.
He says, well, they're all difficult, maybe. Which do you find more challenging?
Fast.
Yeah, fast. Definitely fast.
That's probably true for me too. Although I think I struggle to get the right expression, so I spend quite a long time on my slow passages listening to the sound after I play the string, because that will make a big difference in how it reverberates afterwards.
Yeah,
That there, and you can change that aspect. That's what makes Koto more unique, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's something I actually spend quite a little bit of time on.
But it's so much fun.
Sure.
Like that's like, I mean, I love like the challenging stuff because I do enjoy practicing a lot. But I think when you get that lyrical and you can play around so much with the quality of the sound and the nuance of the sound, it makes it so much fun to experiment with. Oh, thank you.
Although there are some fast rhythms that are actually easier if you play them fast versus
that is
slow.
true.
It just kind of depends on how the piece is written.
Yeah.
So what is our next one?
Oh, our next one takes us back to Christmas.
So our next one is Silent Night.
And Silent Night, we all know Silent Night, but I was going to say...
It's one of my favorite Christmas songs.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
So
too.
pretty.
So pretty. This is a really beautiful arrangement. I am going to use my cheat sheet here. So, Silent Night, the arrangement is the same arranger that did Joy to the World that we started with. And it, sisters? Were they sisters?
I'm not sure, but
Okay.
they only listed one surname, so...
Watanabe
Mhm,
is,
Watanabe.
is the surname. And the two names listed that probably, I guess, collaborated with it is Seiko and Yasuko. Yasuko, that's all right. And so it's all three of us, just like Joy to the World. And it's a really beautiful arrangement. And actually, so Silent Night and Joy to the World were in a Christmas medley set. And we pulled, because I think there were two more.
There were two, so there were
Two
four
more,
songs total.
right?
These were our favorites of
Yeah.
the four. We
So-
liked these two the best, so we pulled these two out.
Pulled these two out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it.
Enjoy
Other than-
Silent Night, you know
Enjoy
Silent
it.
Night. Enjoy.
Sing along. interesting about
Oh, we are back.
Oh,
Well, you guys took us by surprise.
Oh, we did.
yeah, we were just chit-chatting,
It's a short song.
inhaling our
We
cake.
got it short.
I won't eat them.
Oh, by the way, this is from Bell's Bakery here in Upper Arlington. It's a great place for Japanese style desserts, cakes, etc. You should definitely check it out.
We're big fans.
Definitely. Yeah. So good. Let's see. So any other?
No new
Right, so
questions
Bobby,
yet.
Okay. So Bobby mentioned about what did he say about the passages? What was the thing?
Keeping
Oh,
the
that
slow
keep-
parts even
Even
tempo.
is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
true. That's absolutely true. But also keeping the fast parts even tempo is hard too, because in ensemble, if one person is rushing, it's a little bit difficult to keep the ensemble aspect of it intact. So, it's, especially in certain pieces, that modern pieces we have to be pretty exact in our timing.
Oh yeah.
And actually, in Lawson, there's parts where Lori had to keep me on task, not slow down at some of the faster parts because it's very challenging, and my tendency is to slow down. So she was like on her part, keeping that beat
I was the
going. So that so you were the metronome,
Yeah,
so that I wouldn't
absolutely.
slow the whole piece down. So it's challenging.
So
sometimes.
just
absolutely.
keeping you on tap.
It's good for me. It's good for my learning. So, what we got coming up next?
We got Mizumo.
Mizumo.
This is a Sawai Tadao piece. That's the composer. And it is a duet between myself and Lori. Lori's playing Koto 1 and I'm playing Koto 2. And this is a really, really beautiful piece. It has a different mood
Oh yeah.
to it. The melody is very distinct and what would you call that? Evocative?
Yeah, it is. It's very
Yeah.
evocative. And there's things about it that to me sound like a mandolin. And I have a friend of mine who plays mandolin, and he had mentioned to me that mandolin is really big in Japan.
Really? I didn't
Japanese
know
mandolin. Yep, I did not
Cool.
know that either.
I didn't know that either.
So when he was telling me about this, and I was thinking of
Mm-hmm.
Mizumo, and it started like I could hear it. I could hear that mandolin sound because it's that technique of the tsu where you go back and
Oh,
forth
yeah.
on the string with the thumb. And if you think of like a mandolin, they use a pick and like an Italian kind of, oh solo mio kind of thing. Right?
Yeah.
And
Mizumo, by the way, means water surface. So if you think about that and think about the imagery that she just
yeah.
mentioned, the technique she just mentioned, I think that you will really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's
We
beautiful.
got some new questions.
question.
Yay.
We do well. We have a compliment on our kitsuke, which I assume
Oh, no,
is that our kimono?
no, that's what you call how you dress yourself.
Oh,
So if you have a kitsuke teacher or that's the act of putting on a kimono.
well, we have Lisa to thank for that. She is our kimono dressing expert, our in-house expert, and she's going to teach us
Yes.
how to do it ourselves, and that'll be great. Kimono are very, very hard to wear. If you've ever tried to do it, they're very complicated. Yeah, it's not easy. And so our other question is: any plans to explore other forms of traditional music, such as help me out, gagaku?
Agaku, it's like the court music.
Oh, is that like Rokudan? Or is that
No,
is that pre-Rokudan?
those-
Even older than
those
that?
are more kokyoku or classic pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the oldest pieces, we do have some old pieces. We have classic pieces like Rokudan that we and Chidori no Kyoku, and more of those pieces tend to be including voice. They're very much more likely to include voice, and since we don't necessarily have a singer involved in Columbus Koto at this point, we're not going to do as many of those, although we do know a singer, but she happens to live a little bit further away from us to join us that often. But I do have quite a large collection of music that we can still explore, and old classics are definitely something we would like to include.
Yeah. And we are looking to include a little bit more instruments,
Like shamisen.
like the shamisen,
Mm-hmm.
which will be fun to
Yeah.
incorporate
Guitar can be really fun
Yeah.
here with Kodo.
that. Which actually I'm doing guitar with the same person I was talking about with the mandolin. We are doing a guitar
Yes.
koto piece.
Wind instruments like flute also pair really nicely with Kodo. So that
Violin.
violin does. So lots of things.
Yeah,
There's lots of things
but
we can explore.
I think it'll be fun when we like incorporate also with the shamisen, and we can like Rokudan is done with the shamisen as well. So that gives it a very different feel than when it's just a Kodo solo.
We have a really fun piece called Fujine, which means wind god. And that's like a concert piece. Like it involves like taiko drum and singing and Japanese flutes as well as the Kodo. And like it's very, very cool. Many years ago with Sakura Group, when I was part of them, we actually organized a performance at Kappa University of that piece with all of the different instruments, and it was really, really neat
Cool.
experience.
That's really cool.
And so that would be fun to eventually put something like that together again,
Yeah.
like have a lot of guest artists in and do a piece like that that requires a larger ensemble.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun.
That would be.
Yeah. Okay,
Are we
well, that was
ready
it for
for-
questions.
Okay,
Maybe here is Mizumo then.
enjoy.
Enjoy.
I moved positioned a little bit because I'm actually going to do a little Koto surgery today.
My Koto string, my Koto, from Japan. When I was in Japan, this is my baby.
What's her
Made-
name
Very
again?
special.
Her name
Kodo.
is, yes, she's very special. Her name is Kazumi. And for those who don't know the story, I'll make it very quick. I was on a Japanese TV show called Who Wants to Come to Japan? And in the episode, one of the things that I did want to see was how Kodos were made, and so that's exactly what they did. They took me to a real Koto maker, the master, they called him. And I got to watch this Kodo being made. I got to actually help in the burnishing process of it.
It's so cool.
It was really awesome.
Yeah.
But so the other day, I go to practice, and I had a cover over it, and I took the cover off, and I noticed one string was broken. And so I called.
These strings are actually made of man-made materials. They're very strong, but yes, they do fray, especially here where we're playing them a lot. So it did break in this location. It can break any location, but it's more likely to break here. Sometimes in maintenance, we actually flip the strings so that we have the fresh ones that were kind of wrapped around at the bottom of the Koto there. But in this case, I just trimmed off the frayed ends. I pulled it through. If you look underneath where the sound holes are, I'm gonna thread it through actually one of these holes up here and reach in and try to grab the end that I just threaded through. If I can find it. There it is. Alright. So I've already just brought it through, just gently.
Is it actually called the sound hole?
Yes, there is a Japanese term for it, but yes. That I am blanking on right now.
Oh, it's fun to mention. A lot of the parts of the Kodo are named like parts of a dragon. Like the dragons. The bridges are like the dragon's
Yes, because
spine.
they
the head
thought
of the
that
dragon.
the shape of the Koto looks like a dragon, like a sleeping dragon. So the holes that I just put it through are like their eye holes and and etc. So that is what we're doing, and I'm actually just tying this onto a bolster. Once I thread it through, I tie it onto this. Generally, it's like a wad of paper. You can also sometimes see them made by plastic, but then you draw from this end and get that in. All the other strings have bolsters on them and are snug up in there. So that's what holds that side of the string in that I just pulled up over here.
Oh, you need that sheet, don't you?
So how did you learn how to do all this, Lisa? Because not everyone can do this with their Kodo. It's
Trial and error. Trial and error. I had brought some of my mom's Kotos from California, where my dad lives, and playing them, if you play at all, or practice at all, eventually one's going to break. So, this is still threaded through at the bottom. I just had brought up the slack, and now I'm kind of bringing it back through. Okay. Alright, I just have this cloth here so I don't damage the wood. It actually comes through the eye holes here, and you will see them coming through the sound hole down here, and actually wraps around the end of the instrument like this.
It's another reason we're really lucky to have Lisa, because
Yeah.
when I first started playing Kodo in Columbus, one of my strings broke, like right after a performance, and no one in the group I was with knew how to had the skills to fix one or the tools. So I actually had to ship mine all the way to Boston to the person I bought the Kodo from, because he had the tools and the expertise to restring the Kodo, and he ended up just restringing the entire thing with a better set of strings. Which a set of strings costs around $100 on average.
I would say, yeah.
So, plus the shipping and the repair. I mean, I was in college, so this was a pretty big
So that was
expense.
An infinite amount of money.
That was a lot of money, but worth it, obviously. And thankfully, the Kodo arrived there safe and sound and came back safe and sound, which doesn't always happen with shipping an instrument this big and this delicate.
Yes, exactly.
They're very easily dented and damaged in shipping, and things like that. And so very thankful that Lisa knows how to do this.
So thankful.
Yeah, the tension along here is actually quite significant. Traditionally, it's all done by hand, and I did learn how to do that technique. Watch your tip there. If you want to put the cover back on, you can. Usually I do this on a carpeted surface. But that takes a lot of finger strength, not only just to draw it tight, but also to keep the tension while you're tying it, because if you lose the tension at all, it just will not play in tune. So I'm using a mechanical device that helps me give that without having to have that much physical strength.
Yeah, so these strings are under a lot of tension.
Yes.
If you were to walk up and feel the tension on the Kodo string with the bridge under it, it's very, very tight. And it often happens when we're moving bridges around, when we're tuning. If it slips and falls down, the string will snap on your fingers, and it really hurts.
It hurts.
It hurts.
And it makes a loud noise.
Yeah. And the bridges often dent the wood, so our Kodos never stay pristine for very long to get a new
Yeah,
Kodo. They
they
end up
do.
dented and dinged just from the bridges very, very quickly.
Authentic battle damage.
Exactly. It's character.
Totally.
I might not do this totally to string.
We thought it would be fun to actually do this on camera for you guys, because this is something a lot of people get to
Can always
see.
bring it back.
Is what happens if
Yeah.
a string breaks.
Yeah.
You know, some people comment like how there's all this string looped down at the end of the Kodo. Well, this is what it's for, all that extra string. Not only just to look pretty and decorative on
Right.
the end of the Kodo, but it's there for a practical
it's for
reason.
a purpose.
Yeah, so that if it breaks, you can just pull up the excess and retie it and keep on going. I make that sound so easy.
I know, right?
Yeah. Oh, we've got a comment. Let's see.
Oh, and thank you, Bev, for your comment. Much
Yeah.
appreciated.
Oh, it says, Gaku is Japanese court music. The Kodo is used there alongside flute,
Yep.
hichikiri. Did I say that right? Hichikiri.
I'll send you a video
Sho
of it. It's
and
really cool.
biwa.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's biwa? Isn't biwa the string?
Yeah, it's a
little-
different. It looks like a lute. Yeah.
But you play it with a bow.
No, that's the kokyo.
Oh,
Oh, kokyu.
All
Sorry.
kinds of new things today.
Yes. Yeah, that's the kokyu.
We're all learning from each other. This is wonderful.
beautiful.
I'm gonna have to retighten this later,
Should we
Lori.
talk about what our next piece is
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be?
So while Lisa is
Oh, it's actually the next one's actually a solo by Lisa.
So this next piece is called Spanish Impromptu, and it's on the Jishigen. And it's written by the same author that wrote Rasen, which is
But it's a very different piece.
Yoshizaki
Yoshizaki Katsuhiko.
Katsuhiko. And this piece is just really, really fun. I had been looking for a piece to play on solo Jushigen because it's an instrument that doesn't get the limelight that often. And so it was fun to try to play this, learn this piece. And it's in two movements. His inspiration was the Spanish guitar and Spanish flamenco. He really liked kind of the crazy, almost crazed dance moves that he saw there, and he tried to interpret that in this piece. So I hope you enjoy this piece. It was so much fun to learn how to play,
so
and
beautiful to
it
listen
is,
to.
you know,
really cool,
fun
yeah.
piece to listen to as well. I remember actually being very, very, I don't know, anal is the word, but it's like very particular about those last two chords. I experimented on doing it in different ways, and I like, because it's the last thing you hear from that piece, and I want it to be kind of special. And sometimes there's definitely passages that are repeated, and I also wanted them to sound different. In Western classical music, we often do repeats. You know, go back to the beginning, and go back to the exposition or whatever for subject, etc. But and generally we play them very similarly, but I wanted these to sound different, so I definitely paid attention to that when I was playing this piece and tried to, there's times where da 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 da, you have repeated notes, and I wanted to play around with the dynamics and how they sounded. So that's something I was thinking about when I was playing that piece.
Came off beautifully.
Oh, thank you.
And
It's so cool and unique being on the 17 string too. Like Lisa said, 17 string usually kind of gets to be like an ensemble instrument. It doesn't get to stand on its own nearly as much. So it's really great to give it a chance to shine and show what makes it different from the regular Kodo and what makes it unique.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really cool. We wanted to give a reminder to everybody that videos and content like this doesn't come free or cheap.
yeah, so if you came on a little bit later after we had already gone through the whole spiel, we do have an Eventbrite page, and that is for donations. It may look like it says tickets, but it is really for donations. So please go on our Eventbrite and send us a little love. And for those who have, I know we got a few more clicks on there. We so much appreciate it. We thank you so much for your support. It means
Really
so much
appreciate
to
it.
us.
We have
Really
a
does.
lot of really exciting ideas for 2022 that we want to try, but we need funding to do that. So your donations really helped for us to give you more fun content like this that we hope you're enjoying.
Wow, we
And
sound
stuff
just
like
like
I just did before. It costs
like a
money for us to
PBS.
replace
We do
strings.
sound like a PBS.
Yeah, that's true, but yeah, it does.
Pledge drive.
Everything is imported from Japan, including our music, and so shipping costs a lot. So there is a certain amount of cost involved in performing this type of music. So we do really appreciate anything you can give us.
Thank you.
All right, our next
what is
piece
next?
is we're checking our cheat sheet again.
Yaku!
Yaku,
Leaping
yay!
duet.
All right, so this is me and Lori performing this duet. It's really fun, light,
It's adorable. It's
fast
by,
piece.
Genchi.
Hasimo.
God, how do you pronounce that?
Hashimoto. I'm just going
Hashimoto.
to keep tossing my hair back. Keep you guys wondering what I'm saying and watch my hair.
There's a lot of
Kisamoto.
repetition in this piece, but it's a lot of fun.
It's
and
adorable.
Yeah, it's really, really cute.
It's very lighthearted and
Bright in a
Bright.
different
Yeah.
mood from
Very
all our
different
other
energy, yeah.
pieces, and
but quite challenging to play.
and it's fun to play too.
Yeah, it's
so-
fun and challenging. Yeah.
enjoy it, please.
And we're back. Hi, guys.
We're talking about lasagna and spaghetti
very
and
relevant.
meatballs and what kids will eat and what they won't eat. Nothing related to our show. But we're glad you're with us,
Yeah.
and I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you enjoyed Hyaku.
We're actually pretty much at the end of our show, guys. We only have one piece left. We're going to finish out our Christmas show with a Christmas song. It's classic Jingle Bells. You won't know that one.
Get out your jingles.
Yay! It was a lot of fun to play this piece. We really enjoyed it.
It's a cute little
Yeah, it's
arrangement of
really
it for
cute.
Koto and Fujine, so all three of us are playing this one.
And it's not the same arranger as the other two.
No, it's a
is-
different one.
It is.
Sakamoto Tsutomu-san.
There you
And I think, Jess, you're taking the first Koto, and Laura's taking the second Koto, and I'm taking the Jishigen on this. So we're going to finish out with Jingle Bells. So I hope you have a great night and very happy holidays.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting us. We really appreciate it. This has been doing these live streams has been so much fun.
It's been such a great experience. We've learned a lot from this. We've enjoyed them a lot. And it's given us ideas for
the future.
the future, which is pretty
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you again to
Thank
Boxland Media Studios, to Ben
Thank
Niedenthal
you.
for
Yep.
being our amazing live stream operator and camera
Yay.
guy and everything. Thank you to Nick Magato for the audio on these pieces. It sounds so
Fantastic.
beautiful and so rich. We do release these songs on Bandcamp as albums, so please consider supporting us on Bandcamp as well, going there and purchasing an album. That really helps us out. Obviously following us on YouTube. So I'll be posting this show in a few days on YouTube, and then eventually we'll release the individual songs to individual videos in full quality for you guys to enjoy. So please like and subscribe to us on Facebook. That really, Facebook. I can't talk anymore. YouTube. YouTube.
And
You're-
Facebook.
And Facebook, though you're
And
already here
socials.
watching us,
And
so
Instagram.
we assume you like us on Facebook. But if you haven't liked us on Facebook, please do. And Instagram, we like to do a lot of stuff on Instagram too.
Eventbrite. Go to Eventbrite.
Go to Eventbrite.
Yes, go to
Go to
Eventbrite
Eventbrite.
and donate to
And
help.
how can they contact us if they want to book us for an event?
Oh yeah. So our email is
yes.
contact@columbuscodo.org. As the email you can reach us at. You can find that on our website, which is columbuscodo.org. And we're actually getting a new website pretty soon with a lot more features on it, where we're going to start hosting shows, selling tickets to shows that people can come see. We have a lot of exciting plans for the future.
Yeah.
Can I talk about Boxland for a second?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna run out there. I hardly ever do this. Sorry. Hey, everybody. Hi. Hi. Ben Niedenthal here from Boxland Media. This is the kind of stuff we do here. We do live stream concerts. We do great stuff for bands. This is called Boxland Live is what we do. We have my friend Nick come in. He masters all the audio. He's a magician with it. I work the camera systems. We make you look like $1,000,000. We record all the tracks, then we put it together for a live stream concert that you can put out during the dark, dark months of the year when you can't perform at live venues.
Yeah.
Hit me up, 614-505-0674, or hit up boxlandmedia.com/live for more information. Thank you so much. Back to your Kodo stuff.
Thank you, Ben.
Yay.
And also one last big thank you to the to GCAC. That because of their generosity and their grant, we were able to put on these live streams for you. And
as you can imagine, COVID has been a rough time for everybody, but especially for a group like us that depends on going out and performing at festivals, performing at shows, performing at schools and for classes. We performed at nursing homes. That was a great experience when we got to do that. And this pandemic really shut all that down for us, so it's been great to be able to go online and do these live streams.
Yeah.
And so thank you again, to the Greater Columbus Arts Council for their generosity. We wouldn't have been able to do this without their grant.
Absolutely.
Everybody sing along with Jingle Bells.
Happy holidays, everybody.
holidays.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
holidays.